What's up, guys? What's the bad wolf? All right. So once again, people want to not believe any of this information. They don't want. They don't want to. They don't. What do? Well, you think you're above the law and law. It's not me. It's the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. If you have not read that, do not contact me. But I really want to say that about almost anybody because if you haven't read those things, then you don't even know where your rights come from. And if you're going to try to question me on what's superior law, and yet you haven't even yourself read the Constitution, then you'd understand that constitutional law supersedes state law. Constitutional law allows for state and private laws to essentially be utilized. So without that, that's the foundation of all the rest of these laws and codes, is that we gave them permission to do that, to operate your own private little thing. But that private little thing became so big that it became known as the public. So let's see what the internet has to say about such things. Uh, Gotta spell it right if you want to do it. Okay. Um, what is the highest law in the United States of America? Well, well. Let's see what the AI has to say here.
The United States Constitution is the highest law in the United States, and all other laws must follow it.
Oh, hold on. Back it up. Where you at now? Yeah, all the naysayers, all the trolls, all the agents, all the people who work in the post office who watch this, the negative ones. Where you guys at now? Did you see? Did you see what it? Did you hear what it said? I don't know. Let's go back. Let me maybe I'm tripping. I'm bugging. Let's go back.
The Constitution establishes a federal system of government, and Article 6 states that the United States Constitution is the highest law in the United States. The United States Constitution is the highest law in the tools. If someone believes a law, if someone tool, more, books, maps, flights.
Go forward.
The United States Constitution is the highest law in the United States,
There
and
it
all
is.
other laws.
All other laws must follow it. You can't even have your state level and courts and all the rest of that unless it follows the United States of America's Constitution. Is the highest law in the United States other than God's law. Discussion over. I mean, that's it. Check out your Americans' jurisprudence. The Constitution. We've been taught this since we were kids. Let's go.
Constitution is the highest law in the United States,
And
all other laws must follow it.
Yeah.
The Constitution establishes a federal system of government, and Article 6 states that federal law is higher than state and local laws.
Wait, what?
Laws. The United States Constitution is the highest law in the United States, and all other laws must follow it. The Constitution establishes a federal system of government, and Article 6 states that federal law is higher than state and local laws.
It is higher than state and local laws. This is why they don't want you to know this. This is why they don't want you to operate with this. This is why they don't want you to operate and exist privately in the Constitution. There it is. It's not rocket science. I'm tired of people sitting here like, oh, he thinks he's above the law and he's trying to do this. No, not me. The Constitution says it's above your law. So how can your local law and your state be higher or superior than federal law? It sure as hell ain't bigger than God's law. Let's just work on the human level. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, supreme law, which means for the special agents and people out there, all the other laws, as I just said, are inferior. So when you go to the federal court and you pull a court case or the Supreme Court, which has talked about right to travel, and we are the natives of the several states, and we are nationals under GPO 2000 through 2016 or whatever it is, section 5.23, Foreign Affairs Manual, 505.2, 09 code, 8 U.S.C. 1401, 18 U.S.C. 112, 8 U.S.C. 1101 22B. I'm not making this up. I'm literally just finding it in your books and using it because we have a God-given, federally protected right to be private. I'm sorry to the police officers out there who don't know this. Look at your documents. Have you seen the word America on them in forever? And thank you to the police officers who have reached out to me to thank me for this information and asked me if they can do this. And I said, yes, with no hostility, because it's ours as nationals. You're a national as well. So think about this. Your challenge is this, to understand that if you are a national, but yet when you become a police officer, you're then operating as a U.S. citizen, you took an oath to the Constitution to uphold it. You also took a form of an oath to the corporation to do your job diligently, but your superior oath is the Constitution. If you're not doing that, then you are looked at as a traitor. The system is using you to combat civilians, nationals. That doesn't mean all national civilians are right. And I do understand that there are those sovereign S's out there, people who are against the establishment. We're not against the establishment. We're just trying to shed light on our freedoms, rights, and liberties that the Declaration, Constitution, and Bill of Rights say we have. Can I get an amen? Can I just get what the superior law in the land says I should have? But I understand, and I digress. From some of your perspectives, it's we need to operate it correctly, but nobody teaches us the private. Go ahead, I'll wait. Who teaches us the private? Nobody, because the law operates in the public. They don't have jurisdiction over the private unless you're doing something criminal. And if you're not, you can mind your own business and not try to get over on the government or states or do some cockamamie thing to try to get money that doesn't belong to you. But there are credits that can belong to you and discharge programs and certain things. But if you do them the wrong way, then yes, those people are the problem, not everybody. But they don't want you guys to wake up and see what the rock is cooking. I'd say smell, but you can't really smell through the thing. So anyway. All right, let's keep going. Just saying. People want to bother the trolls and want to bother me on something they don't even understand. That's why I don't even answer them. And I have anybody who's working for me or checking my emails for me. You know, if it's some kind of negative thing, my first thing back is either to tell them, did you read the Constitution, Declaration of and Bill of Rights? Have you read those things first? If not, we can't even have a discussion because you're coming at me with emotion and listening to the very suppressors who most of which probably pay your paychecks. Of course, your boss is going to tell you, don't listen to them. They're threatening your livelihood. And I'll be honest, they are absolutely correct. Because if enough Americans did know this information and overstood it, then there's going to be a change in the system, like Nasera, Jacera, and various other things out there. That doesn't mean a system necessarily has to go away. It just means that if enough of us wake up, like in the movie The Matrix, wake up, Neo, or like in The Wizard of Oz, you wake up out of your dream and come back to America, or as the Bible says, come out of her, out of the beast. Then what will happen is people will then start going, that is going, oh, I do have power. Oh, I am an American, and grow a pair. And then start saying, we need to question some things. We need to bring back, we no, we don't want to use your BS system. We want America's values back in here. We're tired of being, educationally speaking, poisoned and tricked and fooled and entertained with the worship of false idols and things of that nature, we'll just say. Okay? Yeah, you get where I'm going with it. All right, let's get back to it. Please read on, my lovely AI assistant.
Laws. This means that if a state law conflicts with a federal law, the federal law takes precedence.
Did you hear that? Back the truck up. If a state law conflicts with a federal law is superior unless you are okay with it. Federal and Constitution and constitutional law also states anywhere where the states charge for a liberty, freedom, or right, you have the ability to ignore that with impunity. Now, that doesn't mean that you just go, oh, I'm just going to stop today, not have a license or whatever else. Though that would be very American. You have to uncontract from these things because you spent your entire life contracting into them. Can't just walk away unless you're going to leave everything, including your name and dang near your social as is over there, because they will use your name and your social to attack you in their public system. You'd have to go completely private. That's why here I teach you guys to be non-belligerents and non-combatants and actually real patriots and understand real American constitutional law, supported and protected by the federal system. And how to use both sides, how to be either one, either this, either that. You can have both, you can't be both in the exact moment. But you can utilize either or as you see fit. You don't need to fight the system, you just need to know how to use it correctly. It is a tool. A tool is not good or bad. How you use it is, or how those people out there, the sovereign S words, abuse it. That's the problem. The people above who are sitting down and watching the court match, two different sides, judged and watched by somebody else, the elites, the handlers, which are the owners, managers, and whatever else, bosses, typically, a lot of them. Instead of clarifying this, they go, just let them fight. Let them have turmoil and conflict. We make money on that. Just like with the ocean of the sea of commerce. If the waters are calm and everybody's getting along and peaceful, the ship can't sail on the water. Can't sail, the merchants can't come in. Do you know what the word merchant comes from? The ancient Atlantean word merman, merchant, merchandise, water, maritime, admiralty, jurisdiction, comes from the ancient Atlanteans. bringing products from here to there. Sorry, a little ancient history. You guys didn't need to know all that. But anyway, so keep going. Love this.
Precedents. The Constitution also prohibits the government from taking any action that violates it. If someone believes a law is unconstitutional, they can take the case to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the United States.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court can then decide if the law is unconstitutional and therefore no longer valid. The Constitution was drafted at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787 and became operational in 1789, replacing the Articles of Confederation, the country's first constitution. It has been amended 27 times since then. Generative AI is experimental.
There it is. Then here they've got a picture of the Constitution. I would have one of those in your house or car or in your travel binder when you go to court. They will not like that. I'm not saying to do it, just letting you know. Now, there has been some debate on whether the word of or for should be there, and I've never been able to find the exact, but what I know of it is that it should be referred to as the Constitution for the United States, lowercase, America, upper. For means de jure, equity, real. Of is supposed to essentially mean like the state of. Okay, once again, conjunction, I believe, and that it's not of the real thing. Okay, but I've not been able to find any solid facts. It's just kind of a thing in the background that a lot of us have, we keep mind of. So, so once again, I have not been able to find anything on that specific, so I cannot give you guys 100% validity. Essentially, what's in the background is that of versus for is essentially for is the real version, the organic, of is the corporatized version of this. Okay. Can't give you more than that. If somebody has any proof, evidence, something that's been vetted that they can, bring forward, that would be great. Give me 1 second. I want to look at something. Okay, and though these are reproductions, I do not see the use of the word for on my documents. So once again, I cannot truly vet that particular aspect. I also haven't done a super huge amount of research on it. So keep it in the back of your mind, but there's no disrespect in the Constitution of the United States. Like I said, just keep in the back of your mind. There may or may not be something with that, but as far as we know, we go by what we see here, and that it's the United States of America. All right. I think if I vaguely remember, I think the original draft may have had for in there, or somebody may have been talking about proper English in America. The de jure should be the word for, but I don't know. So if any historians or anything are watching on there, feel free to message me. Otherwise, any other historians have anything fire to add to this, please feel free to email me and provide information. Maybe I'll have you on the show depending on the information. and if it tickles my fancy or not. So that's about it, guys. I will talk to you later. Take care. Stay out of trouble. And I will be back in 2 and 2.